Hello everyone, this is Godzilla Wolf 1, and I'm back with another Minecraft mod showcase. And today's mod showcase will be on an incredibly weird mod. And given this is Minecraft, that is probably saying a lot. Today's mod is the Furbymania mod. You know, Furbies, those cute little adorable electronic pets Hasbro made, and we all loved and took care of, and found so amusing until they started breaking down and sounding like they were possessed by the devil, or told our parents to shut up so they threw them away. Am I the only one that happened to? I hope not, or my Furby really was possessed. Now, the Furbymania mod adds multiple Furbies into Minecraft, not just regular Furbies, but hostile mob Furbies, Furbies that find jewels for you, Mega Furbies, and a very weird boss Furby. Yes, there's a boss Furby. It's as weird as it sounds, honestly. But anyway, let's get into the mod showcase. Alright, now like any good product, the Furbymania mod comes with its own instruction manual. In this case, the Furbymania library. So yeah, instead of getting a nice little concise manual, you have an entire library. But given this is Minecraft, it's just as portable. In fact, probably more portable given the size of some manuals in real life. But to craft the Furbymania library, you will need one book, one redstone, and one sand. And basically what the Furbymania library does is it contains a number of books that basically explain everything about what you will need to craft, crafting recipes, what everything does, and just in general how the mod works, which I like. It's very convenient to just have mod instruction booklet you can just craft and use, because it saves you the trouble of getting like not enough items or looking up a wiki or something. So yeah, nice touch, mod creator. Alright, now the first type of Furby we are going to look at is, of course, the default Furby. Now, to craft the default Furby, you can find the crafting recipe in the library, or just use not enough items. I'm going to use not enough items. You will need 6 wool, 2 redstone, and 1 Furby CPU, which is one of the creepiest things I have ever seen in my entire life. I mean, just look at that thing. I mean, they're just really, really creepy. It's like a brain. I don't know. But yeah, you'll need a Furby CPU, which drops off of the Furbies if you kill them. I believe any of the Furbies can drop this, or you can craft it by taking 2 redstone, 2 gold, and 1 silicon. And to craft silicon, you'll need to mix a redstone and sand mix, and to craft that, which will give you 4, by the way. And to craft that, you will need just 1 sand and 1 redstone. So, kind of complicated, and you can just get them off the mobs, but that's really not that hard to do, so yeah, Furbies are pretty easy to come by, and they do just spawn naturally in the world. In fact, out there's a naturally spawning one that's sleeping. Kind of cute. So, you shouldn't have no problem getting a Furby, but if you want to spawn them in, there you go. And just right-click, and you have a Furby. That's either really cute or really creepy, I'm not sure which. But they do come in a variety of colors. There's yellow, there's pink, there's a really creepy black one, and there's a red one. So yeah, and I should note that it's kind of interesting. Instead of just walking around, they seem to jump all over the place, which I think is kind of cool because they got those little legs, and it kind of makes sense. And they do talk. They do talk just like normal Furbies, so if that really annoys you, this probably will be a pet you want to keep outside. But to tame a Furby, you will need redstone blocks. And redstone, pretty simple. You can just use redstone, but redstone blocks is quicker. Let's pick a Furby to tame. I'm going to pick the yellow one because I like yellow. And when you tame them, they will get a belt. And as you can tell, they kind of actually do follow the redstone. And you can actually make them breed. And to do that, you simply grab some redstone, right-click one of them with it, and right-click the other one with it, and they should mate. Okay, here we go. This should be working. Yeah, and then they produce a little Furbling. Which is it is really cute. It's just a tiny Furby, but it's still really cute. Oh, and just to note, if Furbies tamed or not will drop Furby poo, which is exactly what you think it is. It's poop. Very gross. Though it is actually kind of important for something else later in the mod, so for now we'll just hang on to it, as creepy as that sounds. Now you're probably wondering, what do you do once you have a Furby? Which I do believe you can get them to stay put if you right-click them, I think. Or not, I might just not be able to right-click them. They seem to be going everywhere. But you're probably wondering, what can you do with a Furby once you've tamed it? Well, that's really simple. You need to, and these things are getting annoying, but you need to craft one of these, which is okay, not an oak shelf. You don't need to craft an oak shelf. You will need to craft blank instructions, which are basically a data disk. And to craft that, you will need 1 silicon, 2 gold, and 1 redstone. And once you've crafted this, you can make any number of other types of disk. So, these things are going to get on my nerves, aren't they? But once you have a blank instruction, you just need to craft them with various items, which I'm just going to use not enough items to show off. If you craft them with coal, you will create an instructions to find coal, with iron to find iron, with gold to find gold, and with redstone. Ink sacks, strangely, for lapis, diamonds for diamonds, and emeralds for emeralds, bucket of lava for lava, not sure why you'd want to find lava, and obsidian to find obsidian, and rotten flesh to find a monster spawner, which I think is the one I'm going to use. Basically, all these just do the same exact thing, except it's different what they'll actually find. So I'm going to take one of my Furbies outside here. Hopefully they'll come. There we go. And basically what I want to do is I want to right-click him with whatever disk I want and watch him get to work. Yeah, he basically then drills down deep into the earth, and I should note you want to stand back, because when he's finished, this will happen. He'll create you a nice little hatch at the top, and you can just descend down into the earth. Now, I should note that this can be a little hit and miss, but if it works right, he should dig down into the earth, create a tunnel that should lead you towards what you're looking for, which in this case should be a monster spawner. So, man, this was a good distance away, but, well, it's a monster spawner. And we even got some coal there. Oh. And there you go, monster spawner, though for some reason it seemed to have broken all the chests. Don't know if that's intentional or not. But yeah, just right-click it with this, and it will dig down into the earth and find whatever it is the disk told it to find, which makes these incredibly useful, though in a sense kind of overpowered. I don't know, to me they're a little overpowered, but let's just grab another one of these and see what happens when I give it to him. Let's try the diamond one. I'm not going to do this for everyone because, well, they all do the same thing. I just want to show that you can do it with multiple things. Right-click with this. And, yeah, you kind of don't want to do that on the same place as you did the first time, but in this case, he led me right to diamonds. Easy peasy. So, yeah, kind of just a way to use the Furbies to find resources, which is always nice, because finding resources in vanilla survival can be a pain. So this just gives you another way to do it. Now, I should note, I don't believe the Furbies can actually teleport. They just follow you around, and I think you have to actually right-click them after having given them a disc to get them to follow you again. I don't know, this is still a work in progress mod. There might be a few glitches, or you might have to just click him with another disc. Maybe I have to click him with the blank disc to get him to change back to normal mode. I don't know, yeah, you have to right click them with a blank disc. So yeah, do that, you got your Furby back into normal mode. And I think that's a cool feature and definitely makes them pretty useful. Oh, he's sleeping. Alright, now the next data disk that we're going to look at is the race disk. Now, this one I think is still a bit of a work in progress, but the way this should work is, well, first you need to craft it with 1 sugar and 1 instructions, is you should be able to craft these Furby race tracks, which is crafted just by surrounding 1 redstone and cobblestone. And my Furby is sleeping again, but that really shouldn't affect anything. And they do have a lot of vocal clips, which is either a really good thing or a really bad thing, depending on how annoying you find them. But anyway, just put the racing disc in him, and he will start putting off those effects. Now, this I don't think is working 100% correctly right now. you're supposed to push him onto the starting block and hook a redstone signal up to it to get him to race, but nothing really happens. Yeah, I mean, I've got the disc in him, just nothing seems to really want to happen. So I think that part is probably still a work in progress and doesn't quite work, but just the thing this does do, the whole being able to bury down and find ores and stuff for you, is quite useful, and I think makes them a pretty useful pet to have. Though they are kind of annoying if you don't like the sound effects. But also very cute. Alright, now let's say your Furby happens to get injured like mine is. To heal them up, you just need to feed them any type of food. Though, one thing to note is that does not always work, and as you can tell there, I got nausea 3 because my Furby got sick and threw up. Which I don't remember Furbies being capable of doing, but apparently they are. And so, yeah, that's kind of, I guess, a way to counterbalance how OP they could technically be with the whole finding you ores thing, is that healing them is a bit difficult, because sometimes it heals them, sometimes they throw up, and, well, the throw up makes you have nausea 3, and no one likes nausea 3, nausea 1, or nausea anything. So, yeah, keep that in mind. You can feed them to heal them up, but it could very well backfire on you. Okay, technically it's supposed to be asleep, but I don't understand these things. Alright, now the next part of the mod we are going to look at is the Mega Furbies. Now, the Mega Furbies cannot be crafted, but they do spawn naturally in the world, and they are kind of rare. Like, I have not yet seen one spawn naturally, so keep that in mind, but these are probably the more combat-helpful Furbies. Where the little ones are good for finding stuff down in your world, the Mega Furbies are a bit more combat-oriented. So, let's spawn one in, and that is a Mega Furby. It's really big. Like, incredibly big, and, like, that's bigger than a house. Yeah, I don't know what inspired those things, but, yeah, there's Mega Furbies. I don't know of any actual real-world equivalent of this that Hasbro's ever made. But, yeah, he follows redstone blocks. But you tame him the same way you tame the normal one, though I should note one problem. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but his health goes down to 20, and the only way you can get it back up is either feeding him, which, as established, is a bit hit and miss, or just using splash potions on him to heal him up. Now, you're probably wondering, why do I want this gigantic Furby following me? Well, there's a few reasons. One is this is the only type of Furby that can actually do damage. So, and I think I have him sitting right now. But anyway, if I shift right click, you'll see we enter his inventory. Now, basically, the inventory can do a number of things. One, they can do splash potions, they can shoot snowballs, or they can shoot, given we're going to be fighting skeletons, splash potions of instance healing will do the most damage. And, yeah, you can basically use any type of splash potion you want. I'm just kind of picking and choosing the ones that are going to be most useful. To my knowledge, I've tried making him shoot fire charges, he just doesn't want to. But if I put these in his inventory, he should start throwing them at mobs. But anyway, let's grab a skeleton, and he should start going after it the moment I hit it. If I punch him, he'll start to shoot arrows at it, doing about 7 to 8 attack damage per hit. Though I have noticed a bit of a bug, and this is a work in progress mod, so it doesn't surprise me there are bugs in the mod, but he sometimes starts just shooting the potions randomly after killing the first mob. Now, I don't believe he can actually choose which potions in his inventory he shoots. So if I hit them, he'll start using splash potions of instant healing on him, and wipe the skeleton out easily, using those up. If I were to spawn in a blaze, which would be the most useful for the snowball function, punch it. Did I use up all the snowballs? No, he did not. For some reason, he's not targeting the blaze. Come on, buddy, target the blaze. Okay, I think the Mega Furby is still very much work in progress, because it doesn't seem to have a good aim at the snowballs, but the arrows work just fine, and I think he defaults to arrows out of everything. Either that or he just doesn't want to fight blazes. I'm not... let's test this out. Like, I am still confused a little bit by this. Okay, let's spawn a skeleton. Will you shoot him with a snowball? Yeah, so apparently he'll only shoot mobs in the overworld. I did not know that. I expected him to be able to shoot all mobs like most, what the heck? Apparently that skeleton had explosive arrows. Did not know that. But anyway, that is the Mega Furby. They're not the most useful of the Furbies, because they're kind of hit and miss and still work in progress. But I think that they could be a useful pet to have in survival if you can put up with constantly feeding them arrows, which, given you just need a skeleton spawner and you can find those easily, shouldn't be too hard. Alright, next up we're going to look at the hostile Furbies that are added into the mod, and to do that we are going to need a little bit of protection here to make sure we can take them out. The first of the hostile Furbies is the Zombie Furby, which, as you can expect, spawns naturally in your world, I believe at night, like any other vanilla mob. And if I take them out here, they move faster than a normal zombie because, well, instead of walking, they jump forward, but they do burn in daylight just like a normal zombie, and do about as much damage. Basically, they're just a smaller version of a vanilla zombie. So, nothing much to worry about, though I do wonder, can you get a baby one? No, you cannot get a baby one. So, this is the only type of zombie Furby you're going to have to deal with. And when killed, can drop rotten flesh, green wool, and Furby CPUs, which are still the creepiest thing ever. Look at it. Just look at it. That's scarier than the mob it came out of. Though I did notice that most of the mobs in this mod do drop wool, so if you want a mod that gets you a lot of wool, this is a pretty decent mod for you. I'm not sure how many people would rather kill mobs than shear sheep, but there you go. Alright, next up is the Skeleton Furby, which I should note is a bit different than your normal run-of-the-mill Furby, and I really do need to set it to night so they don't burn. And Skeleton Furbies actually attack you like the normal zombie Furbies and do a little bit more damage, and they are a bit faster actually. So Skeleton Furbies are basically just faster and do a little bit more damage, it looks like, than the zombie Furbies, and have a bit more range. And when killed, oh, and this is important, when you kill a zombie Furby, it will not only drop bones, arrows, and more very, very creepy Furby CPUs, but has a chance of dropping Wither Furby skulls, which you will need to spawn the boss of the mod. So, yeah, you don't have to go to the Nether to get the skeleton skulls, which I think is actually an improvement, so thank you, mod creator. Something amusing I noticed is the Skeleton Furby seems to be about the only one that does not drop any form of like wool of some sort, which I guess makes sense because they don't have skin, which, being a Furby, their skin is probably where the wool is coming from. Now, the next Furby up is the Creeper Furby, which these cannot be crafted, I should point that out. And the Creeper Furby is, well, just like a normal creeper, only slightly more dangerous in that it's a smaller target, and moves a little bit faster. So, come on, Furby. Yeah, unlike a normal creeper that just crawls around after you, the Creeper Furby jumps forward like every single other one of the Furbies, and apparently can also produce Furby poop. But if they explode, which I don't want to happen near the toy store because I've already owing the owner a bit there, they explode just like a normal creeper, leaving about the same sized crater. And if you kill a Creeper Furby, which is a tad bit more difficult than normal due to the change in health, they will drop well, apparently that time they drop Furby Poop, Redstone, and more green wool. I do believe they can probably drop gunpowder, just like with the zombie Furby. It's not 100% chance like it is with the normal mobs. Yeah, there you go. They drop lime green wool and some gunpowder. So, yeah, just like normal creepers, only a bit faster and a bit more difficult to actually hit due to their smaller size. So, yeah, Creeper Furby. Alright, the next type of Furby is the Ender Furby, which, well, is basically what happens if you cross an Enderman and a Furby. which I better set it to midnight just to be on the safe side. And when they are spawned in, they are very creepy and have extremely long legs. But they do behave exactly like a normal Enderman. I do like their face. It looks kind of cute. It kind of looks like if it's not like the others that look kind of creepy. It does actually look... I like how its beak is even purple. But as you can see, just looking at the face isn't enough. You actually kind of have to look a little bit above their head to aggro them. And once you aggro them, they will act just like a normal Enderman and teleport around you to attack you. The only difference is they're a bit smaller, and when you kill them, you get the incredibly creepy Furby CPU, some redstone, and some black wool. Now, I do imagine, like the other mobs, the Ender Furby does have the same chance to drop an Ender Pearl. I'm not sure if it'd be more rare than a normal Enderman, but even normal Endermen don't really drop it all that often. But the next Furby is the Ghast Furby. Now, the Ghast Furby is exactly what it sounds like, a gas mixed with a Furby. And yeah, that's probably going to be very, very disturbing, don't you think? Yeah, there we go, ow! Yeah, Ghast Furby flies around just like a normal Furby. I mean, not a normal Furby, this is not a normal Furby! This is what happens if you mix a Furby if you allow Dr. Trailers to make a Furby. But you can knock his fireballs right back at him, just like a normal Ghast. It's just, like with the normal Ghast, this is not the easiest thing in the world, and I do believe that he actually teleports like the other Furbies do. Alright, this Ghast Furby went a good while away, so I went into creative just so I can show you what he drops and got myself a bow and arrow, which is, like with most Ghast-themed things, probably the easiest way to deal with them, though this one's a bit more difficult to hit. Wait, is this thing immune to bow and arrow? Okay, no, I was just being a very, very bad shot. And as you can see, it basically drops everything a normal Ghast would drop, but with some added redstone, and I believe a Furby CPU right there. So yeah, Ghast Furby, very hard to actually kill. I imagine they do drop a Ghast here, so let's actually spawn in another and kill it with the sword to see if it will drop one. Yeah. There you go, Ghast here. So yeah, Ghast Furby can drop everything a normal Ghast can drop. They're just, well, like Furby moves slightly faster and are slightly smaller, so a bit more difficult to hit. But keep in mind, you do also get free redstone and the Furby CPU, so you can make more Furbies. Alright, now before I go into the boss, there are 4 more things I need to cover, and those are the wands. Now, the wands are kind of weird. I don't know what the inspiration for them was, but there are 4. So let's grab them off the shelf here. There is the Copy Wand, the Ground Leveler, the House Wand, and the Monster Killer. And to craft each of them, the Copy Wand is crafted with a Never Star, a Freaky Furby CPU, and a stick. The Ground Leveler is crafted with Gunpowder, Furby CPU, and a stick. The house wand is crafted with stone, wood, and a wooden door, CPU, and a stick. And lastly, the monster killer, a skeleton skull, a Furby CPU, and a stick. Now, these are actually really overpowered items, but I just thought I would show them off. And basically, with the copy wand, what you want to do is it kind of works like World Edit. So, let's say I wanted to start here, then come down to right here, right-click again. Now it is complete, and wherever I right-click will spawn the same type of structure I just copied. So, as you can see, since I copied that, it copies the same boundary as before. If I were to copy up here... There you go, floating in the air. Fairly simple idea, but kind of useful. Would be pretty dang useful in survival. Huh, I wonder. And also, just shift right-click on a block, and it will reset. Now, I do want to check something. Can I actually copy and paste this toy store? I'm actually rather curious about that. So, let's do this, and then go over here. And put up a couple quartz, right-click again, and then fly somewhere a bit safer, like right here, and right-click, drag, and yeah, it actually worked. I was able to copy the entire toy store. So yeah, I could see that being incredibly useful. Though it doesn't seem to actually copy mobs or anything on the shelf, which I suppose is to make it from being too overpowered, even though it is pretty dang overpowered as is, and messed with my shells. But yeah, it won't copy mobs, but you can copy entire buildings like this, which I think would be very useful. Kind of think about it, I imagine that's why you need the Nether Star. Alright, now next up, the ground leveler, which is what I use to flatten out the area around the toy store so I could construct it a little easier. Better question is, why I decided to construct a toy store for one mod showcase. The answer is because I wanted to. But anyway, all you need to do with the ground leveler is right-click any block, and it will clear every block that is above that particular block. So if I right-click here, it takes out this entire chunk of mountain in one shot. If I were to right-click right here, continues to do so. Do that, and I accidentally flood the entire area with an ocean. Yeah, so you can kind of do stuff like this. Hey, there's a cave in here. So yeah, and this is a very easy one to craft. You just need gunpowder, but one thing to note is unlike some mods, you do not get any of the blocks. So if you do that and there happens to be diamonds there, well, there ain't diamonds anymore. I want to do it, but I do want to see how big of an area this can clear. Alright, now we are down to bedrock, so I'm going to right-click right here, and this might crash me, but I'm going to do it. And holy crud, it actually did it! So, okay, if you do go all the way down to bedrock, you are capable of cutting out a square that goes straight up to the surface. So, that could be very useful at getting down to bedrock, but once more, keep in mind, any ores that were in that area are gone now. So, and there's an entire flock of Mega Furbies. So, yeah, they do spawn in the wild. There you go. Okay, I think I had too much fun with this thing. One thing I should note, though, is it has durability, so you can't, like, destroy your entire world with this thing unless you're in creative. But yeah, it might be a little too much fun. Alright, the next wand is one that is considerably less destructive, and it is called the House Wand. Right-click with this one, and this one surprisingly has more lag than the other one, which is odd. But anyway, once you use it, you will get a 3-story cobblestone house, and a Furby just fell out of the sky. And it's nothing special, it's just a house that could be very useful. I mean, you could just make this your first day in Minecraft, kill a Furby, grab some wood, stone, and a door, and, well, you have a nice 3-story house, which can be convenient, but also could be considered rather overpowered, which it kind of is, but what you gonna do? Alright, now the last of the wands is the Monster Killer, which, as shown before, is crafted with one skull, which, this one makes a little more sense, because those are actually a little more difficult to grab in survival. It's not like a skeleton skull, which everyone has from the, well, everyone can actually get. I should note that this does not work on passive mobs, it only works on hostile mobs. So, let's grab in a zombie. Yeah, why not the zombie Furby? Spawn it in, and basically this will insta-kill any mob you right-click with it, like, instantly. I don't know how powerful it actually goes to. Let's go to... I don't think I can actually grab an Ender Dragon, but I don't know what its maximum is, but any vanilla mob just gets one-shotted. An Ender Furby has 40 health, so that will probably be a better demonstration of just how much this does. Spawn you in, Monster Killer. Yeah, I can one-shot the Ender Furby, which has 40 HP. So, pretty overpowered, but keep in mind, normally to get a skeleton skull, if I'm not mistaken, you need to have a charged creeper blow up a skeleton, I believe is how it works in vanilla Minecraft. So, not the easiest thing in the world to get, but yeah, kinda overpowered. Alright, now on to the Wither Furby, the boss of the mod, which is just as disturbing as it sounds. Basically, I would describe it as what would happen if you were stupid enough to leave 3 of your Furbies with a mad scientist for a week while that built his lab on a ancient Indian burial ground. It's that creepy. But to craft the Wither Furby, you will need to craft digested redstone blocks, which is just 9 Furby poo in a square. You'll need 4 of those just like with the normal Wither, and you will need 3 Wither Furby skulls. And like with the normal Wither, put this on to start the boss. Now, one thing I do appreciate is, unlike a lot of mobs that have their own version of the Wither, in this case, the Wither Furby is not just the Furby with a... well, not just a Wither with Furbies for heads, but the actual... well, like an actual new model with some unique traits to it, so... let's spawn it in as soon as I get myself some enchanted golden apples. Because, to be honest, I am going to need them, because this boss is, well, like the Wither, only I think actually a little tougher because it's smaller and harder to hit. So let's armor up. I'm going to spawn it in creative so you can see what it looks like, but then we're going to fight it. So let's get started. As you can see, the Wither Furby looks really, really creepy. And like the normal Wither, starts throwing everything around. Good look at the heads, they are really disturbing and go in all directions like the Wither. I think the creepiest version is its chest and... oh boy, am I going to owe that guy money. Its chest is like more skeletal than the normal Wither. And as I said, it's a lot smaller and does the whole skip around thing the normal Furbies do. So let's actually stop this thing before it destroys the world. Game mode. Game mode 0. Eat an enchanted golden apple. I didn't need to do that. Eat the enchanted golden apple. And run over here. Yeah, it inflicts the Wither just like the normal Wither does. Yeah. Is this thing firing faster than normal Wither? Okay, it's right above me, so I can actually get some hits out on it. Also, I should note that, like the normal Wither, it regenerates when it deals damage, so I think in a way this is actually tougher than the Wither fight. Yeah, not an easy boss fight. It regenerates health, shoots Wither skulls, and just generally, as you can tell, is not going to be an easy thing to take out. And actually, I believe the bow's not doing as much damage as the normal bow. Shot. It's doing about 5 attack damage per shot. And yeah, this is not going to be an easy boss to fight because, like I said, it's moving around so fast it's hard to actually get a shot on it when it's already small to begin with. Yeah, let's jump up here, try to hit it while it's jumping. Also, I don't know if it actually comes down when you get it down to half health or not. I have a feeling I'm going to be in a crater if I manage to actually kill this thing. And I died. Okay, and... so, yeah, I think I've proven my point that this thing is hard to kill, so I'll be back when I actually manage to get down the health a bit. Alright guys, I decided to go into creative to finish the thing off, and as you can tell, this thing does not actually go into the Wither's tackle you mode like the other one does. And also, do I have something? Oh, I still got the Wither of 2 on me. So, yeah, I could not... if you manage to actually kill this thing, you'll get a Nether Star, which I believe you've earned, and some redstone and a CPU. Not sure I'd use that thing, because given how evil that thing is, it's probably demon-possessed. Okay, guys, so that was the boss. As you can tell, it really did a number on everything. Like, this is just where we fought over here. Like, I was trying to fight over here, and it did a lot more damage, too. So, yeah, I actually think that thing's harder to take out than the Wither. Because with the normal Wither, it's a bigger target, it's a bit slower, and it actually goes into that mode where it will come into melee range. This one does not. It's a lot faster due to jumping around like it does. It's a lot smaller, so hitting it is a bit more difficult. And it's a bit of more of a challenge because it does not switch into the more close range mode when you get it down below half health. So, ironically, I believe the Wither Furby is actually more dangerous than the normal Wither, which is saying a lot. But you kill it, you get another star. I just suggest you bring a lot of really good armor, or else you're going to be in for a very, very bad fight. Anyway, this has been Godzilla Wolf 1. This has been the Furbymania mod, one of the weirdest mods I've ever seen in my life. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye! I still don't have a catchphrase. Will this cover it?